Ishani Bakshi, and on this channel, I travel the world via books. This means I read a book from every country in this entire world. And today I'm paying a visit to Taiwan. Taiwan is a country southeast of China, surrounded by the East China Sea, South China Sea, and Pacific Ocean, with a population of around 23.75 million people. It is a country home to many different cultures and ethnicities. Before going in, I knew I couldn't find one book to encapsulate the entire Taiwanese experience. Nevertheless, The Hunter School by Sakuni Arhaglong, translated by Daryl Stake, does a really good job at articulating the Taiwanese experience. So, The Hunter School is a memoir written by a Taiwanese man. That means he is someone belonging to one of the indigenous groups of Taiwan. The entire novel is split into three parts: a Taiwan boyhood, indigenous trajectories, and reclaiming what was lost. Unlike most autobiographies, instead of being told in a chronological order, it is told by a series of anecdotes, which I quite like. So each of the parts has a different theme, but they all interconnect together to paint a picture of Sakuni's life. Therefore, I'll be going over each part by itself. So the first part, a Taiwan boyhood, follows Sakuni as a young boy. And it was definitely my favorite part. This part emphasizes on the importance of nature in Taiwanese culture. The first few stories in this collection follow the hunting adventures of Sakunu and his father. And through these examples, we learn that hunting is a crucial part of Taiwanese culture, and the hunters in Taiwanese culture really respect their prey. For example, Sakunu's father taught Sakunu that after you kill an animal, you have to always express gratitude, or else it won't go on to live a happy afterlife. And just, it's a nice thing to do because this animal is providing you with food for your family. And this theme of respecting nature continues through the first half through many different stories involving millet fields, wine, and other animals such as monkeys. I definitely recommend checking it out. And I would give this section a 5 stars. The second section, Indigenous Trajectories, follows the many different hardships and obstacles Taiwanese people in Taiwan face. These range from a lack of educational opportunities to having to adapt to cities like Taipei, which, if you didn't know, is a metropolitan city in Taiwan. And this collection had one of my favorite stories in the entire book, which is in fact the very last story in this collection. Now, this story is set the summer before Sakuni's 11th grade. And during the summer, so to earn a little bit more money for his family, Sakunu's father had to go to Taipei to work on a construction site because the money he was making back in his village just wasn't enough. To collect the money that his father had made, Sakunu had traveled to Taipei with his younger brother for the first time ever. And his father had given him relatively vague directions, so once he got to Taipei, he got lost. And the way Sakunu describes the panic he felt being in this new city that is completely different from the village he's from is just so wonderfully written, and it definitely connects to me the most. However, part 2 is also the part that suffers the most from translation, as some of the sentences mix informal and formal language, which just seems awkward at times, so I'll give this part a 4 stars. The last part, Reclaiming What Was Lost, follows Sakuni really stepping into his Taiwanese heritage. And this part is the shortest among all three, but it also has the longest short stories. The increasing length helps some short stories, but definitely drags on others. But at the same time, this would be the most informational section of the entire novel because it tells us about the other groups, such as the Amis, and specifically how they impact the Taiwanese and how they sort of almost accidentally push their culture on them. And I just think this part is very beautiful, and because it shows Sakunu fighting against the norm in Taipei and embracing his culture even when it's not popular. Nevertheless, this has to be my least favorite of the three, just because the stories were a little longer and sometimes had a lot of unnecessary details. But in conclusion, the entire novel would get a 4 out of 5 stars from me because it does a great job of conveying themes such as respecting nature and stepping into your own culture. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit like, hit subscribe, comment, and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss another stop on my literary world tour. Bye!